Hello everybody, my name is Peter McQuilton. I'm sorry I can't be there in person to talk to you today, but hopefully this video will give you a flavour of our work. I'm delighted to be able to present FAIRsharing.org, which is one of the outputs of our joint RDA 411 FAIRsharing working group, and I'd like to thank the organisers for the opportunity on behalf of myself and my co-chairs Simon Hodson, Rebecca Lawrence and Susanna Assunta Sansone, and the FAIRsharing community as a whole. Our working group, which has now completed its 18-month lifespan, has two main outputs. The first is the FAIRsharing registry itself, which I'll talk about shortly, and the second is a set of recommendations or guidelines for the creators and users of standards, databases and data policies to guide the selection, description and linking of these resources to help them become more findable, accessible, interoperable and reusable, i.e. to become more fair. Okay, so the first output is the FAIRsharing registry. Here's the homepage, and this is what you see if you type fairsharing.org into your browser. In the center of the homepage, there is a dark blue search bar containing three search options. The first is the general search tool that searches across the 40+ metadata fields that we have for every record for whatever text you type in here. The second is an advanced field-by-field search, which allows targeted searching using autocomplete and some of our in-house vocabularies. And the third is a step-by-step wizard, which is useful if you aren't quite sure what you're looking for and want to have your hand held as you explore through and refine through the data. I'd like to highlight down here the numbers so you can see the magnitude of the data that we have in FAIRsharing. We have over 1,269 standards, 727 of which are terminology artifacts or vocabularies ontologies, and this might be useful for this chat. I'll talk about these a little bit later. So what are we trying to do in FAIRsharing? Well, we're trying to link together the landscape of standards, databases and data policies. So we take the standards and we split them into four types: models and formats, terminologies or vocabularies, guidelines or minimum reporting checklists, and identifier schema. And we describe all of these and then link them together. So guidelines may stipulate the use of a particular format, for example. And then we link them back to the databases and data repositories that implement them. So you know if you're putting your data in a particular database, you know which standards you need to use. And then we link these back to the data policies from funders, journals and other organisations that may endorse or recommend their use. And here's the time that I should say that all of the data in FAIRsharing is manually curated by our in-house curators, also working directly with the maintainers for each resource, as they can maintain the record themselves, and this ensures that each record is as up-to-date as possible and as accurate as possible. The aim of all of this is to create a network graph of the whole landscape of standards, databases and data policies. Here we have one from the International Virtual Observatory Alliance, which is in astronomy, and you can see all the yellow icons are standards, the yellow triangles are vocabularies, and you can see how they all relate to each other here, and where you, in FAIRsharing, you can click on any of these to find out more information. So this is what we're trying to build, this kind of map of the landscape. So vocabularies. We have 727 in FAIRsharing across all of the disciplines and subjects that we have. You can see here on the right hand side I've got some statistics. This is just selected terms that we've picked out of our subject ontology, but you can see over half of our vocabularies come from the natural sciences, and of those a good proportion are from the life sciences, and of those many are within the medical or agricultural fields. And then we also have a growing set of vocabularies from humanities and the social sciences and the engineering sciences too. Of these vocabularies, you can see we split them by life cycle status. So you can see the vast majority are ready for use. This means that they're active, they're being well maintained, there's an active user community with them, they're being endorsed, they're being implemented. So you can take one of those vocabularies and use it knowing that it's an active vocabulary, it's not going to disappear overnight. Some others are in development, so these are new ontologies, not quite ready for prime time, but it's quite useful to see those if you're looking to create a vocabulary for a particular area. There might be someone out there trying to do the same thing, so you can connect to those. And then we have some deprecated ontologies. These are where an ontology has been subsumed into another ontology or superseded, And so we capture all that information. We say it was deprecated on this date, as this person told us it's no longer in use and you should use this other vocabulary instead. And then we also have those where we're not entirely sure and we say, okay, buyer beware, we're not sure what's going on with this ontology. We've tried to contact the people involved, they've not got back to us. So just in case you know any more, do let us know. Okay, so I realise I'm slightly over time, but fair sharing enables the FAIR principles. That's our aim, to ensure that standards, databases and policies are findable by providing DOIs and marking up each record in schema.org so it's findable by Google, accessible by identifying their level of openness and the type of license, interoperable by highlighting which repositories implement the same standards, and reusable by highlighting the coverage of a standard, its level of endorsement by the community or data policies. And all of this work to assess the fairness of these resources we do in part with the GoFair Fair Metrics group and the NIH Data Commons. If you want to find out more, we have a paper just accepted into Nature Biotechnology. You can click through this DOI to see the preprints. You can go to our working group page on the RDA, or you can contact us down here. Thank you very much for your time, and hopefully if the remote connection is good enough, I'll be able to take your questions. Thank you.